Hey friends, my name is Jackson, and welcome back to my channel, Gender Not Found. Let me just move my computer a little closer. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, so I'm on r/AmItheEx. I really wanted to record something tonight, but it's already 9 p.m., so I kind of wanted to do something kind of short. And these AmItheEx videos are usually a little short, are usually like a lot shorter. And the last video I did was so freaking massive, and I did have that appointment today, which was really stressful. But I do want to rejoice in the fact that I got through it without chocolate. I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Like, I didn't even ask my mom to bring any candy, but I got through it without candy, even though there was like basically I was supposed to have an appointment with my support worker and then the I guess group leader or whatever. And then there was this other woman and then another woman who joined via Zoom, which was good because I don't have room for that many people in my apartment, and my mom was here too just to help me through it. But I did it without chocolate, which was really, really great. Anyway, so I'm gonna get into this. And the first one is a repost. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to look for a job after I already agreed that she wouldn't work for a year? And this is tagged dump imminent but not yet. I am not OOP. This is reposted due to the link not working. The original post is here. Okay. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to look for a job after I already agreed that she wouldn't have to work for a year? My wife and I got married 2 years ago and have been together for 7 years. She gave me my two fantastic stepsons, and 6 weeks ago blessed me with a daughter. Now, our daughter was planned. Excuse me. I want at least one biological child. She told me at that point if if we would have a baby, she would want to stay home for at least the first year so she could exclusively breastfeed, and I immediately agreed. We were in a good financial position. We had money stashed away in multiple different accounts. We were set. So I did agree to this, which probably makes me an asshole. But our finances are not doing so hot anymore. It's not even her fault. My brother stole $25,000 off of us. Jeez. Got a hold of me and my wife's joint bank info somehow. I'm pressing charges, but lawyers said this could take months to even be put in front of a judge. I cannot make this work on just my income anymore because we are only left with $3,000 in my bank account and our rent is $2,800. So I asked my wife to look for a job and I explained why. She immediately said, "I fucking hate you," and walked off. I was able to reapproach it later. She locked herself in the bedroom crying, and she said she is rethinking her marriage now because the one thing she asked for is that she gets to stay home for a year, and I agreed to it, and now I'm asking her to send her kid off with a complete stranger and give up exclusively breastfeeding, and she is sickened by me. And she said she would never have agreed to have a baby with me if she had known I would back out of our agreement 6 weeks in. Said that my brother stealing thousands from us is something I need to fix on my own because it's my family, and if I force her to work, she will 100% divorce me, no question asked. Am I wrong in asking her to get a job? Yes, you are. She will barely speak to me now and won't look me in the eye at all. She cries a lot, but I literally cannot do this financially without her. Yes, she gets child support from the boy's dad, and it does help me out, but not it does help us out, but not as much as I need. Edit to add, my wife's reaction was not bold. I wanted a child. She told me for easily 3 months straight that her only stipulation was that she didn't work, and she straight up told me before even getting pregnant that she would never forgive me if I backed out and changed my mind about her staying home for a year. 90% of the money that my brother stole was money she worked overtime for, just to ensure that she did not have to work. So no, it's not bold. I don't even blame her. She begged me and warned me not to back out on it, given that it was her only request, and that's exactly what I did. She says I'm just as untrustworthy as my brother, and a part of me feels like that's true. I didn't keep a good enough eye on my brother, which is how he even got a hold of our bank info. It was in my wallet that I left in the car when he was in there one day. Now she is suffering because of my family fuck up. Exactly. I'm at a loss, but no, she's not being bold, insensitive, or rude. She warned me, and I did the exact thing I promised her I would not do. 25,000 is only what we had saved for the bills. We have separate accounts saved for each kid. Okay, well at least you've got that managed. Her bro- my brother and I are twins. Despite not technically being identical, we look a whole hell of a lot alike. He took my info, he went to the bank and withdrew and closed out the account. He didn't have my ID. The bank asked him my security questions and last four digits of my social, which he knows. You should never give your social insurance number to anyone, even if they're family. Handed over the money to him immediately following and closed my whole account out. I didn't even know until my paycheck would be delivered. I called the bank to ask what the holdup was. They told me that I had closed the account 4 days prior. I argued it, and they showed me the surveillance feed to prove I did it, and it was my brother. Am I the only one that feels like something incredibly suspicious is going on here? Additionally, his pregnant wife worked overtime so she could stay with her infant, and now he wants her to get a job. That was her one non-negotiable term. I feel awful for his wife. Okay, why the hell was the full bank account info left in his wallet in the car? He stole that money, I guarantee it. Gambling. Or he stole it and hid it in another account to force her back to work. This. She needs to get an investigator to start digging into what the hell this man has caught her up in. I thought this word choice was interesting. Technically, my stepson's dad does pay child support, but not as much as I need. So, not as much as we need, as much as I need. Okay, so I'm not the only one that thinks that's off. OP sounds very self involved, and I'm in the he stole or used that money camp. And it was, I wanted a baby, right? Very strongly hinting that he needed to coerce her into having another child without saying it. Y'all real hate men you can coerce someone into having a child. Ugh, nothing's stopping you from using a form of birth control. Barring rape, of course, no man is forced to have a child. Yeah, that's true. Sheesh. Oh my god, this one looks good. Okay, so this one is from r/slash am I the devil, which is one that I looked at recently, and I'm actually planning to make like a whole video in the next couple weeks on that subreddit, just because it's funny and I love it. Anyway, what woman wouldn't want to be the butt of a demeaning joke told by her new husband at their wedding reception? And the tag for this one is not dumped, but should be. And then it's from here, which is originally on r/slash am I the devil. Am I the asshole for making a joke about my wife in my speech at our wedding? Hi everyone, I'm writing this on here because my new wife has been upset with me since our wedding, which took place last week. She has even threatened divorce on me. It's been pretty bad. Many people in my personal life don't think I was in the wrong, while others are taking my wife's side. So I need some unbiased perspective. This is a throwaway for obvious reasons. So over the years that we have been together, over the 4 years that we have been together, my wife, who was then my girlfriend, have been pretty active with our intimacy, so much that our friends and even my parents have talked and joked about it. This is well known in our inner circles, and we have many jokes around this topic. Thought I heard something. Many of which my wife herself thought were funny and joked about with her friends as well. One of the nicknames my wife received around this topic was that she was a C-word dumpster. We all thought it was hilarious and fitting for her given the circumstances. Well, during the wedding reception, many people were giving speeches, and towards the end, I wanted to say a few words. I thanked everyone for being there, how everything was beautiful, yada yada. And then I wanted to talk about my wife, my life with my wife, and I decided to throw in a joke towards the end. I said something like, I am so honored and excited to be spending the rest of my life with my beautiful C-word dumpster. I love you, honey. And the entire room roared with laughter. All the groomsmen were laughing, and a few of the bridesmaids were as well. My wife, however, did not look happy and pretty much avoided me for the rest of the reception. When we got back, my wife yelled at me about how I completely embarrassed her at the wedding with my joke. I told her it really wasn't that big of a deal, since many of the guests were well aware of the joke and won't think anything of it. The next morning, I got a call from my mother in law screaming at me about how I humiliated her daughter. I tried reasoning with her, but it was no use. I have been texting the other groomsmen and the bridesmaids as well, and they think that my wife was just overreacting. A few guests that I am close with feel the same way. However, one of the other bridesmaids called me as well and called me a dick and an asshole. I feel conflicted because I was just trying to joke around in my speech. So am I the asshole making a joke during my wedding speech? I got to the nickname and thought, oh no. He did. He really, really did. What a dumbass. Yeah, that's not the kind of thing that you say at a wedding reception in front of people, whether or not she joked about it with you in private or not. Uh, hang on. Hmm, okay. I was just looking at something. I know, I audibly gasped when I read that. What an idiot. I hope he shows this post all his future dates because it's so funny how she's totally overreacting. Every time a man accuses a woman of overreacting, my blood pressure raises 2 points. That's because you're overreacting to these comments slash S, which just means sarcasm. Yeah, he removed his comments in the original post on Am I the Asshole because not one person was okay with it, lol. Not one? The incels all off having a group cry offline? Ha, exactly. Best comment ever, lol. Their tears make the best joke lube. I gasped too. What a complete piece of shit that guy is. Along with any and all who laughed, how was the wife allowed any of this shit to be done with her? Edit ad, I'm going to decide that this has to be fake. Please. I know this could absolutely be true because there was a viral video a while ago of wedding vows being taken where the husband said many horrible things like this and some even worse. I don't remember every single thing he said, but in particular, I recall him saying that she could be either a Twinkie or an eclair. This was all said in front of their child. If not for the timing, I'd say it could even be the same guy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, okay, oh my god. This looks fun. So, this one is called On Team Wife, A Little Late There, Bud. And am I the asshole? Oh, the tag on this is definitely dumped. Am I the asshole for kicking my wife out after she punched my mom in the face? My situation went from bad to worse in a matter of a week, and I don't know where else to turn. I need to know if I was wrong, possibly a validation thing because life is fucking dumb right now. My wife and I have been together for 8 years, and she just gave birth to our first and last baby 2 months ago. Up until my wife got pregnant, my mom loved her. I'm not sure what the fuck is wrong with my wife or why the switch happened, but after my wife got pregnant, my mom started being very clingy to me and started avoiding my wife at all costs. Told everyone she isn't excited about the pregnancy, etc. So I threatened to go no contact with her when my wife was about 7 months along, and after that she snapped out of it for the most part and stopped being so ignorant. The comments 100% stopped at least, though she still was clinging to me. Now, a week ago, my mom, my sister's husband, and my sister's daughter, aged 12, came over for dinner. I prepared the meal. Before my wife could eat anything, our daughter got fussy, so my wife excused herself to go feed the baby and get her put down to sleep. I thought I prepared enough, but apparently not, because my niece was still starving. She's 5'5" and 190 pounds. I haven't seen her in a year, and she was not that size then, so I didn't exactly portion in an extra 3 helpings for a child, so it's on me. I apologized and told her that I hadn't made any more, and offered her crackers as I was putting my wife's portion in the fridge. After that, I just went outside with my sister's husband to smoke a cigarette and shoot the breeze. Didn't think anything of it, but then I hear yelling from inside. When I walk in, my wife and my mom were screaming at each other. Apparently, my mom, who saw me put my wife's food away, gave my niece my wife's portion of food. As I was walking inside, I heard my mom say, "Looks like you can afford to skip a meal," and slapped my wife's stomach. Right as soon as I get ready to step in, literally fast walking towards them, yelling, "Enough!" My wife whines back and punches my mother square in the face and drops her. The whole house went silent outside of my mom crying and holding her face. I tell everyone to get the fuck out. Immediately, everyone leaves, and my wife just turns towards the counter and leans with her hands on the counter and face down, eyes closed. I look at my wife and say, "You two, leave now." She says, "Really?" She's crying at this point, and I say a clipped, "Yup." She packs up her and the baby and leaves. Oh my god, you asshole. I text her that night and say I just need space. I need to decompress and come to terms with what just happened. She doesn't respond. The next 5 days I'm texting and calling and I get nothing. She shows up here today, so 8 days later, and hands me divorce paperwork and my baby and says, "Here, you have a bit to hang out with her while I pack." Where I'm breastfeeding, we can work out a visitation schedule that is either at your place or my mother's until she will take a bottle. I told her that's not what I want. I don't want to separate. I just needed time to process her punching my mother in the face. She said, "You needing time to process gave me time to process the fact that I refused to be in this situation any longer. I defended myself. I initially felt bad and remorseful, but you making me leave when I needed you made me see more clearly. I'm done. I'm sorry for what I did, but there's no fixing this." She refused to speak to me all the rest of the time that she was here. My house feels so empty and I don't know what to do. Am I the asshole for making her leave after she punched my mom? I just needed some fucking space. Yes! You're the asshole! And she's right to divorce you. Edit to add, for the record, I am team wife. My mom deserved it wholeheartedly, and I've blocked her completely from my life. I literally just needed time to process what happened. My wife has a lot of things. Violent is not one of them. So this came completely out of left field and would not have happened without her being provoked. After it all happened, my mom sent me a text saying, "See? I told you she was crazy. That fact bitch doesn't belong in our life." I'm willing to bet she purposely tried setting my wife off. So no, I'm on my wife's side 100%. I truly just needed to process what happened, and my wife took it as me giving up on her, not defending her, and throwing her and our baby out, which did essentially happen because I knew she had to take the baby with her when I kicked her out. Edit to add, the reason why my dad was stupid abusive. I was beat. My sisters and brother were beat. My mom was put in the hospital multiple times. It took years for police to enforce restraining orders, and he finally died in 2013. Violence scares the fuck out of me. I clam up and get anxious around violence of any kind now. My wife knows this, and she too grew up with a violent dad, stepdad, and she gets just as anxious and panicky around violence. Her punching my mom in the face triggered an anxious response, and I needed her gone in that moment. I needed it far away from me. I don't know why I didn't just leave. I could have, but in that moment, I just let my emotions and fear run the whole fucking circus and told everyone to get out, her included. My mom did slap her first. I guess for some reason I was seeing my wife's punch as being worse than the slap. It wasn't a hard slap, but my wife did kind of wince looking back on it now. She was fine following the incident, but my mom was bleeding. Split her eyebrow open in good shape. I don't know. Wow. Jesus, this one's gonna go down in the history books for all the reasons. Holy fuck. And then there's like that wide-eyed blushing emoji. Edit, someone on the thread mentioned the wife posted her side. I'm gonna try to hunt it down. Edit 2, I still can't find it. I replied to the comment on the original thread last night, and I just checked over there to see if they updated, and they deleted it. So it seems this came from a misunderstanding. I'm so sorry, y'all. OMG, if you do, please let us know. I'm dealing with a very moody 9-year-old right now, so I need the tea. Damn it, I can't find it. I searched with every term I can come up with. I'm still trying, though. Gives me something to do. You're the hero we need. I think they were talking about this post, but it's not the wife. The stories don't line up. And then there's hmm, a link to another post. Actually, let's check this one out. It may or may not be the post to the, yeah, it may not be the whole post. It might not be the post, but I still want to see this. Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to cook dinner for my in-laws after my husband gave his mom all of my leftovers? I'm 3 months postpartum, but for the most part, it doesn't really affect me. Our daughter is a super easygoing baby, so my healing process was smooth sailing. I've been up and doing my pre-baby routine since maybe a month after I gave birth. With that said, I still get super tired and I still have postpartum anger that randomly spikes whenever my breast milk drops. DMER, so maybe I'm being too harsh here. 2 days ago, I made a huge corn chowder. It took me at least 4 hours between prep and cook. I have been craving this since maybe 2 weeks after I gave birth, and though my husband said he would make it for me, I always declined the offer. I want to do it myself because, to be blunt, his cooking isn't great. Edible, but not great. So I wanted to make it, and I made it 2 days ago. I made so much. The mid-sized stock pot was up to the the mid-sized stock pot was up to the top. I've been eating it since I made it for pretty much every meal, and I wasn't even remotely sick of it. Not that it matters. But anyways, last night I had more of it, and I transferred what was left into a small Tupperware container. I have between 15 to 20 cups left. The Tupperware has measuring on the side. enough for about 10 bowls anyway. Well, my husband made plans with his parents a few days ago to come over for dinner tonight, and he asked me to make a ham dinner. I don't eat ham, but I had no problem with this because I had corn chowder left. My mother-in-law and father-in-law showed up around 11 a.m. this morning to hang out for the day. I end up running to the store to get other stuff that I need to make for dinner. Well, when I got back home, my mother-in-law says that corn chowder was delicious. You'll have to give me the recipe. I said, "Aw, thank you, whatever." I figured she ate one bowl. But I go to the kitchen to drop off the groceries, and the Tupperware holding the corn chowder is in the sink. I checked the fridge to see if it was moved to a smaller container. Nope. It's gone. They ate all of it. I called my husband into the room and asked him where all my chowder was, and he goes, "Sorry, I offered mom and dad a bowl of it, and my mom polished off the entire thing." So I go, "There was easily enough for 10 bowls in there. There was no fucking way she just ate all of it." And he just shrugged and said, "No, she really did. Dad only had one bowl." So I asked why he didn't stop her, and he said he felt bad because she enjoyed it so much and acted like she was starving. I told him I'm not making dinner tonight. He can. I told him it was fucked up that he would give away that much food, knowing I cooked it specifically because I wanted it, and saw me plugging away at it for 2 days. Besides that, there's no way that woman is still hungry after that. He says that he can't make the ham dinner because it will come out like shit. That's true. But I told him that's not my problem and to tell his parents that I'm not feeling well, and I'm going to go hang out in the baby's nursery because of how upset I am. He says I'm overreacting. Not the asshole. His family already ate lunch at your house and devoured 10 servings of soup. What the fuck? Aren't they offering to bring dinner to you? You were the one who just had a baby and and ham and it ham for dinner. I have no idea what that means. You just warm it up. It's not an elaborate gourmet meal. I'm sure he can handle it. I don't see how she could possibly be hungry after eating 9 bowls of corn chowder. Don't suppose you'd share your recipe. I love corn chowder, but 9 bowls? Not in one sitting could I do that. I don't blame you after you worked on that dish for 2 days. Husband messed up, not the asshole. Not the asshole, seriously. I love my own corn chowder, but no heckin' way could I eat more than 2 servings, much less 9 in one sitting. If mother-in-law is still hungry at dinner, there are two options. She cooks the ham or she and her husband can order food for everyone. Go pick it up, pay for it, and order extra of OP's favorites for her to have another day. Husband deserves all the wrath of his wife and then some. Alright. Um, let's do another story. I think this might be the last one for tonight. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, hmm. This, this could be a good story to end on. My wife won't talk to me after I basically told her to shut up. And it's originally from r/marriage, and the original post was called My Wife Won't Talk to Me Anymore. And this is tagged dump imminent but not yet. So my wife, 31 female, and I, 46 male, have been together for 6 years, married for 2. She used to talk to me all the time. She used to share her day with me, just randomly tell me her thoughts, stuff like that. However, she also used to want to talk about problems we were having. A lot. It felt like we were always talking about what I did wrong. She thought I spent too much time talking to exes. We were friends. I don't prioritize her over work. It's my career. Am I supposed to quit? No, you're supposed to have a balanced life. And mostly that I didn't care enough about her. There were so many different ways that she came to that conclusion, but it was like we were just always sitting down for a serious talk. So I told her about a year ago that I didn't want to talk anymore. I was just tired of hearing everything I was doing wrong. I provide everything we need. Can I just have a break? I told her that if she had a problem with the way I did things, then she could get out of my house and we'd get a divorce. She told me that she was just trying to communicate because she didn't feel appreciated and that I had one foot out the door. But I think that's ridiculous. I know it's harsh, but I was at my wit's end. So now, a year later, she barely talks to me at all. When I ask about her day, she says fine. When I talk to her about work or politics or my day, she says, "Oh, wow, cool," and kind of walks away. Her attitude isn't bad. She's very sweet, but it's just like she doesn't care anymore. Because you don't care anymore. She's just delivering the exact same energy back at you. I didn't want to talk about our problems anymore, but I didn't mean to stop talking, period. We really don't talk about anything that doesn't have to do with our life and household. In the evenings, she just turns on the TV and we watch something until bed. Now I don't know what to do because I just found out today that she won a pretty big award at her job. And she didn't tell me. Last Friday, she said she had to work late and it was cool. I didn't ask. Today, I found out that she was really at a dinner where she was celebrated for this award. She invited some of her friends and her mom and brothers. I ran into her brother at the store today, and he mentioned the dinner and said that he was sorry that I couldn't make it. I asked what he meant, and he said the dinner. He said the dinner, how I wasn't able to go because I was sick. I asked him to explain the whole thing to me, so now he knows too. What am I supposed to do? Is she punishing me or something? Do I tell her that I know? Why wouldn't she tell me? I didn't think she'd take it this far, and now I'm thinking she's being petty. Does anyone have experience here? I love my wife and I'd do anything for her, but I'm so confused. Edited because I put the wrong gender. Edit, wow, a lot of comments. A couple people were asking about the exes. I have close contact with three of my exes. My previous wife calls me when she needs to talk. Her and her husband don't get along. I have two ex-girlfriends who I'm still friends with, and I was friends with them when I met my wife now. My wife doesn't like them because she says that they cross boundaries, but honest to God, they were just friendly and we ended on good terms. It's nothing serious, and I just don't want to give my friends up. Edit 2, you were right. Tried to talk to her last night. It didn't go well. I'll update later when I can get my thoughts together. My previous wife calls me when she needs to talk. When the ex wants to talk, it's fine, but no talking with the wife makes perfect sense. When the ex wants to talk, it's fine, but no talking with the wife makes perfect sense. Well, yeah, the ex complains about her new guy or her life, and OP feels good. Wife complains about OP's actions, and he feels bad. Not enough to change or anything, but bad. But he provides everything they need, and her job in which she is winning awards is just a fun little hobby, apparently. So why should he have to do any emotional work in the relationship at all? Slash S. I heard from too many people how there are some people who are better off as exes and friends only. They are selfish and terrible to their current wives, girlfriends, maybe even family members, but if you are an ex or just a friend, they will go the extra mile for you. Like, they're the type to cancel a date or other pre-planned events, activities, appointments with their other halves just to help their exes and friends. I have several friends who are awful partners. Our relationships depend heavily on me not having to depend on them. OOP is getting all he deserves. Wife deserves better, particularly since he's made it crystal clear that he doesn't want to change. I haven't realized how many of my friends seem to be awful partners. Something for therapy, thanks. I have a very dear friend like this. We're friends away from the high school times. 40, like, dash CA 40 years. I have no idea what that means. He sometimes, not always, is so awful to his partner. I feel so bad then, sometimes witnessing their fights, especially because I like her very much. She's a good person. Alright. This is kind of a shorter one, but I think I'm gonna end there just because I don't know, I'm just tired after everything today. And anyway, I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself, and, you are valid. Don't forget to be good to yourself and to others. I will see all you guys in the next video soon, which will probably be tomorrow. Okay, bye.